Have you ever felt that deep clash between the world you wish existed and the world that's right in front of you? Well, it's a tension at the very heart of our lives, this constant battle between our most beautiful ideals and some very, very brutal facts. And this is the core conflict, right? On one side, you have everything we hope for: peace, brotherhood, hope, faith. And on the other side, bam, you've got the brutal facts that seem to just crash right into them: war, rivalry, cynicism, and suffering. It feels like this epic battle between our highest hopes and the world's harshest realities.
Yeah, it's easy to look at a list like that and just feel a little defeated, isn't it? To get that sinking feeling that no matter how much we hope or try, the brutal facts are just going to win out in the end.
Okay, so first, let's really dig into that feeling. Why does it so often seem like the weight of the world is just designed to crush our best intentions?
You know, this conflict plays out everywhere. We see it on the global stage, right? We talk about peace, but we live in a world of intense rivalries and spend fortunes on weapons. We see it in our spiritual lives, this ideal of a loving God crashing into the reality of random suffering. And we feel it personally, too, trying to be honest and unselfish in a world that often rewards ruthless competition.
The source material for this explainer uses a timeless metaphor that just captures this perfectly. Think about the Christmas story for a second. You have this absolutely beautiful ideal, angels singing about peace on earth. But what's the brutal factual context? The Roman Empire is in charge, and they rule through violence and absolute control. The story itself just lays this whole conflict out for us. It starts with an ideal, a message of hope, a new possibility being born. But the brutal facts are lurking. The cynical King Herod, who represents all that established power, doesn't celebrate this new hope. No, he's terrified of it, and his immediate reaction is to try and destroy it. This isn't a modern problem. This conflict is ancient.
And this really gets to the heart of it. As the source so powerfully puts it, our personal ideals are not argued out of us. They are crushed out of us by brutal facts. We don't give up on our ideals because someone makes a clever argument. We lose them when we feel like they're just getting steamrolled by reality.
So yeah, it's a pretty bleak picture. But what if the whole setup is wrong? What if the very way we talk about this conflict has been misleading us this whole time?
To answer that, we need to challenge a key term right at the center of this whole debate, and that is the word fact. I mean, think about it. We do this all the time. When we see something ugly or cynical, we call it a fact. And that word, it sounds solid, heavy, undeniable. But when we see something beautiful or hopeful, we call it an ideal. And that sounds kind of flimsy, doesn't it? A little bit naive. We've basically rigged the game with our own vocabulary.
And this is where everything gets flipped on its head. Yes, Herod's cynicism, his cruelty, those were facts. They were real and they were terrible. But the hope, the love, and the courage that arrived in that moment, those were also facts. Every bit as real and, as it turns out, every bit as powerful.
So here's the crucial point. We're not dealing with solid facts versus flimsy ideals. Not at all. We're dealing with two competing sets of facts. Both are real, both are powerful, and they are locked in a genuine fight for what comes next. And these beautiful facts, they aren't just wishful thinking. They are solid realities all around us. Think of the incredible courage of an explorer writing his last words in the frozen Antarctic, or the tangible, undeniable love of a mother for her child. That is one of the most powerful forces on this planet. Or even the measurable, hard-won social progress of the last 2 centuries. These are all hard, concrete facts. All right, so we've totally re-examined the word fact. Now let's give the word ideal the same treatment. Let's look at what the true power of an ideal really is. So here's a whole new way to think about it. An ideal isn't some fantasy totally disconnected from reality. It's a possibility that someone perceives within the actual facts. And that, well, that makes it one of the most creative and powerful forces in the universe.
I mean, think of Thomas Edison. He didn't invent the light bulb by just dreaming about magic. No, he studied the hard facts of electricity. And deep within those facts, he saw a new possibility. The ideal was born from a rigorous understanding of what was real.
And this is literally how progress happens. First, somebody sees a possibility, an ideal, like, say, public education for everyone.
Then that ideal has to face the struggle, right? It has to battle all the cynical forces, all the Herods who say it's impossible. But if people fight for it, that possibility becomes a new, concrete fact in the world. And the source connects this back to our central metaphor just beautifully. Think about it. Religious liberty, equality, scientific freedom, every decent thing we now take for granted started as a fragile ideal. And for every single one of them, a Herod was waiting, trying to stomp it out before it could grow. Okay, so this brings us to our final section. And really, it's about the choice that this whole new understanding presents to each and every one of us. So here it is, the big takeaway. The real struggle in our world, in our lives, isn't between weak ideals and strong facts. It's a battle between two competing sets of facts. The facts of cruelty and cynicism versus the facts of love and progress. And that's where we come in. This is our role. On one side, you have the facts of Herod, cynicism, cruelty, despair. On the other, the facts of Christ, courage, love, progress. So our choice isn't just about what we believe in our heads. It's about action. It's a question of allegiance. Which set of facts are we going to put our energy behind? Which reality are we going to help build?
Because after all the talk, after all the analysis, it really does boil down to one simple choice. So the question I want to leave you with is this. A new ideal, a new possibility for good is being born all the time. But Herod is always waiting in the wings. So what new possibility, what fragile but beautiful new fact will you protect and help grow up?